everybody! Welcome back to Tower of Dreams. Last time on Tower of Dreams, we made it. We did, finally, to Vicar's Rock, Vaughan's hometown, home monastery, home commune, home place. And yeah, we got to meet High Priest Duck, who is, delightful Fearbolg. Everyone is now uber suspicious of Jaynny because she asked for more responsibilities in terms of helping run the tavern. Vaughan almost gave alcohol to minors.
Would have been fine.
We have seen two different Kitsune characters. One who we don't know, who is talking with Head Priest Duck, and another that has come to the tower to stay as a guest and has requested that Valkyrie give him a tour. So good.
How do you Kitsune? What is it?
Kitsune, Kitsune. Cool fox people, basically.
Oh, the guy in the white robes was a Kitsune.
Yes. I guess maybe I
noted.
shouldn't have said that. Make an intelligence check. No.
Sure.
No, you're good.
Just for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna open because we ended kind of right there with Fen offering his arm to Valkyrie, his three tails kind of.
Was it Fen or Ren?
Ren.
Okay.
I had it written
You're
down
right.
as Ren.
You are correct. I fooled myself.
Okay.
I was about to say.
Yeah, wow. His name's Fen now. Deal with it. Ren offered you his arm. Well, after you, dear hostess.
Okay. We shall start with the arboreary. How do you say that word again?
Arboretum?
Arboretum. That's it. We'll start with the arboretum.
Delightful.
She would take him towards the arboretum.
Great. So you walk through the tavern into the temple to the arboretum.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot bigger on the inside, I would say.
Does seem that way. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So how long are you staying again?
Oh, I don't know. I'm on a extended vacation, I suppose you could say.
Interesting. Very nice. Did you say where you come from? Where do you call home?
I did not say where I came from.
Okay.
How rude of me.
Well, I mean,
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I'm from a tiny little island, all the way on the other side of the archipelago, really. It's called Comptona. Yeah. Lovely place, really. Highly recommend a visit.
I've never been there.
Not many creatures of your radiance ever have.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Don't I know it?
So, let's take a look over at the tavern in the inn, where you'll be spending, I'm sure, a good deal of your time.
Excellent. Who's this temple dedicated to?
Oh, I'm honestly, I can't remember, but also, I'm also pretty sure that Valkyrie wouldn't remember either. Yeah, well, I can introduce you to someone who helped establish the temple.
Oh, that would be
I haven't
phenomenal.
really. Sure. Yes. Absolutely. Do I see Vaughan anywhere close?
Vaughan and Nathaniel, as Valkyrie kind of saunters off with the fox person, um, leaving you and Ritz and in the foyer area. Ritz kind of goes, "Bah, I am going to the kitchen," and he turns around and walks that way. And then, yeah, what are the two of you doing?
Probably after dealing with Ren coming in the foyer, I would probably go to the temple and keep a sort of an eye on the not the kinkus, the kobolds, making sure they don't. In some divine way, they're doing the right thing, but Vaughn's not 100%.
Sure, not going around Vicar's Rock. Okay, Nathaniel.
Yeah.
We hitting the town. We hitting up the tavern. What's the plan?
Probably gonna hit the town.
Okay. Yeah. So you head out. We're gonna do you first, just because I have stuff for the town up already.
Get the other guys. It's all about you.
That's right.
We're gonna kill you first.
That's right. How many times will you die? Yeah. You. I mean, this is a very bucolic area, very kind of farmy, as I've already described, and you kind of see, like there's a field with some pole beans growing up some trellises, and some areas with various other vegetable-y crops coming up, and an orchard with some fruit trees, and I mean, it's a very kind of a do you like farmland, or are you more of a city person?
It's a good question. Nathaniel would be interested in farmland because it's probably something he would have wanted later on in life. But he's more of a city person, so it's that fine mix of both.
Right, yeah, that fine mix of kind of like, aww, and like, it's so quiet here.
It's quiet. No wonder I can't sleep. Continues on.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so you kind of make it into town, and just as a reminder, there's Vicar's Row, which is kind of like the housing for full-fledged members of the Cult of the Unknown God. There's the Meal Hall. There's the Initiate's Round. There seems to be some other kind of like village-style homes, a general store, infirmary, smithy.
I guess I will go to the smithy first.
Okay. Yeah, you head over to the smithy. You can hear that familiar kind of clank of hammer on metal on the forge, or anvil specifically, I suppose. And you walk in, and there's a person with their back to you, hammering away.
Is it morning? Is it evening? Is it afternoon?
It's like afternoon. Yeah.
Okay. Afternoon.
Oh my God! And turning around is a human woman with. She kind of had like something wrapped around her head, but you can see that she has bright red hair, and pretty built, because she's obviously working in a smithy. And she goes, "Oh my God, you scared me."
I apologize.
Hi, how
Hello.
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm Thea. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm
And
Nathaniel.
You are? Oh, Nathaniel. Pleasure. Can I help you with anything?
I'm Just looking around, truthfully, seeing what different armor smiths have or different smiths. I like looking at getting used to traveling.
Sure. Can't say I've done much of that myself. Born and raised right here, Vicar's Rock.
Never been out of Vicar Rock before?
Nope. Haven't had a reason to. I mean, life's kind of quiet, but I kind of like that. Lots of time to think.
Yeah, I could see where that could be good, at least. Just not used to it all. Just
Are you from
rural area.
City?
Yes.
And it's it's noisy in the city?
Oh. Yeah, by far.
Like 20 people trying to do smithy work at the same time?
Oh, about like 100, 200 people trying to do it at the same time.
Oh. Well, that doesn't sound very pleasant.
You get used to it. It's more of a relaxing thing to hear at one point or another.
I suppose if you get used to that sort of thing. You just seriously just walking around?
Pretty much. Just visiting. Friends and I came in a tower.
Oh yeah, the big thingy that everyone's so excited about.
Yeah.
Cool. So you like a wizard or something?
No. No, that escapes me. At that point, no.
Oh. Well then, how'd you get sucked in with something so obviously magical?
It's a good question I ask myself every day.
Is that a smith's hammer on your belt?
It is.
You know the trade then?
Born and raised.
Well, I'll be. I suppose I can't offer to mend anything for you then.
I don't have anything for her to mend, do I? I wouldn't have anything. No. I was interested to see if probably you had anything unique for sale. Or
Well, I don't know about unique.
medals.
Mostly do horseshoes and and the like, but we do have a deposit of mithril on the island.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I could take you there.
I would be happy to go to get some mithril. That would be helpful.
She kind of perks up. Great. I need to clean up. So how about you meet me back here in an hour?
Sounds good.
Excellent. And she will skip off.
Then I will go and keep meandering around. And
Good,
for
good.
an hour.
Yep. We'll come back to your wanderings. Vaughan, you head to the temple, and you see number one. Kind
Number
of.
one, how? Go ahead.
It's just he's just kind of sitting there, idly.
Everything okay?
Yes. Do you How do you know? How do you know that the gods can hear you?
Sometimes, on rare occasions, they will speak to you if they choose, if you meditate and think upon it. But it's not a guarantee. Um, it's it's the funny thing of, and a requirement, I guess, of religion and believing in a deity. You have to have faith. It's
Faith? Is that?
faith.
Oh, faith.
Faith. Faith.
Got it. What does that mean?
Faith is basically believing in something without proof.
Huh.
Like you breathe air, right?
I suppose. Yeah.
But you don't really can see it or actively know it's there, but it's there. So you have faith that there's air.
I guess that's true. So, if I have faith in Todd the God, will they speak to me?
Well, here's the thing. Todd is just a greater being. He runs this tower. In essence, in a way,
Probably
he
the
is
whole world, right?
not for Todd.
Oh.
See, when you were down here and you weren't getting, part of the reason you weren't getting any answers from the tower and Todd was he was asleep. In essence.
Oh.
So, and it's generally conceived that deities really don't sleep.
Oh.
So Todd is he's a magnificent construct. He's certainly a wondrous thing.
How can I know? I don't know what to ask. I'm sorry. I'll think about what you said.
It's okay. It comes in time. You must have some patience.
Yeah, and he'll kind of absent-mindedly kind of hobble off. And it's at that point that Valkyrie and Ren come back from their stroll in the Arboretum. And you hear Ren ask the question, what god is this temple, consecrated to?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, Valkyrie gave her response, so you would hear that too. Oh, I can introduce you to. Fun. Good timing.
Yeah. Here on Vicar's Rock and my raised faith and eventually now this temple is dedicated to the unknown god. We call him the unknown god. That is his proper name.
Make an insight check, both of you.
Ooh.
Goodness. Let's see. Well, really good at the whole insight thing today. That's a 6.
Oh man, you both did so bad.
We pick up nothing. But I will go on and discuss.
Yeah, okay.
That he's basically a good aligned god.
Sure.
And we believe in
Yeah.
helping people, and
Both of you make a perception check.
until one of
Wow.
us get a good number.
You're not going to catch up on the emotions, but yeah.
Well, for me, that's a 9.
You're just
Okay, you know,
in
that's
the clouds.
enough to kind of feel
I'm just really digging.
his arm kind of tense just slightly. And Vaughn, you can't quite see around him. He doesn't have any reaction on his face, but you see his tails fluff up a little bit, like hair standing on end.
Like the hair on the back of yeah, like he's in alert mode, kind of.
Yes. He goes, "Oh, interesting. Why don't we head over into the tavern?"
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, let's. I will show you the tavern. Where it's not quite up to it's not quite the pinnacle yet, but we're working on it.
Oh, sure.
So please. And she will kind of take him over to the tavern, kind of like glancing at Vaughn over her shoulder and just giving kind of a weird look, and then continuing on.
All right, you make it into the tavern, enough to hear Jaynny kind of yell back into the kitchen. "All right, lizard brain, we need some, blah 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 blah," rattling off kind of an order,
Sure.
and you hear coming back Ritz's voice saying, "Write it down. Do not yell. Write it. We're
Jaynny.
doing too many things." And she just kind of rolls her eyes, like playfully, and turns back to the front as soon as you all walk up. "Oh, well, hello. What
Hello.
a specimen you seem to have brought into the tower, Valkyrie."
Oh, yeah. This is Ren. I'm giving him a tour of the facility. He's going to be staying here for a while.
She'll smile and say, "It's a pleasure to meet you, Ren." And Ren's nose will kind of wrinkle with a little bit of disdain. And he will say, "Yes, pleasure, I'm sure."
So this is the tavern.
Cozy.
Yes, as I said, we're working on it. We're going to be doing some updates soon, hopefully. Then maybe you'll be here to see those updates.
I hope that is the case.
Yes.
If not this visit, maybe the next.
Yes, absolutely. And these are where the rooms are. And she'll show him where the rooms are. I don't guess we've really taken a look at the guest rooms yet. So hopefully they're okay.
Yeah, you open.
Valkyrie kind of holds her breath as she like thinking to herself.
Open the doors.
It's,
doors to kobolds.
It's nice in a not elaborate way.
In fact, Valkyrie will like open the door first and like kind of look in as she's like opening the door just to make sure it's not like a wreck.
No, it's just fine.
And
this is
here are the rooms.
This looks comfortable.
Yes.
Comfortable.
Feel free to, since you're staying for a bit, you can absolutely, I would assume, if you want to put things out to make it more your style, then go ahead.
Sure. I'll, yes, I will do that.
Okay.
And if I need anything, where's your room?
Oh, she'll kind of like point up to where, because I'm thinking that they're separate from like the guest rooms.
Yeah, they're kind of like, so the guest rooms are on like one wall on the second floor, and then all the way at the end of that hallway is the door that goes to your private room.
I'm right down there. Our rooms are a little particular, so you know, if you don't see me in the vicinity, just ask Jaynny. She'll probably know where I'm at.
Okay, I will. And it's a strange smile. I will do that.
Okay. Well, I'm sure. Does she pick up on that strange? Does she pick up on that smile?
Sure, make it an insight check. A better insight check.
Natural 20.
Boom.
Nice.
You catch this very forced smile at the mention of Jaynny, and you also catch a sense of fear.
Well, noticing that I'm sure that you can, I'm sure I'll be about. Every once in a while we go outside the tower, to do things, but, take care of business as the owners. But, I'm sure you'll find me about. And if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't want to ask Jaynny, Jaynny's not there.
Is she ever not there?
I don't think so, no. I mean, not that I know of. Just ask anyone in the kitchen area. They'll know. Okay?
Okay.
Well, please, again, feel at home. Actually, let me go and get a key for you, because I don't think that we've given you a key or anything. Or we haven't set up payment, so we would need to talk to Jaynny about doing that.
Certainly. I'll come with you.
Okay. So she'll take him back to Jaynny, and during the conversation, we don't have to RP it out, but during the conversation, she'll try to take the reins of the conversation to keep him from having to talk to her, since he showed a little bit discomfort.
Okay. Yeah. You procure a key, and he puts down payment, and that's that.
Okay.
I guess.
Well, again, make yourself at home.
I plan on it.
Good. And feel free to, leave, come back whenever you want to. There's no, closing time. Well, unless, yeah.
Excellent. I will keep that in mind.
Okay. All right. There's a closing time. Double check that. Okay. All right. I'll see you around.
And he'll kind of give you a courteous bow and turn to go up the stairs to the room. And as he does, one of his very soft tails kind of brushes against your arm.
Brushes against my arm?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Not like he was moving it to do that.
Right.
Just he turned around.
No. I understand.
Yeah, okay,
good. I understand.
Not creepy brushed your arm.
Right.
Just
right. No. I understand. I understand what you're saying. Okay.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
All right.
Yeah.
She'll just kind of watch him for a bit, and then, okay, and then go and find. Maybe she'll go and find Vaughan. So are you still in the temple, Vaughan?
I would have followed you and ran into the tavern. I would have.
Oh, okay. Are you sitting down? I mean, I'm asking you as a player. Are you sitting down? Valkyrie's not asking you if you're sitting down.
Are you at the bar? Are you at a table? Where are you?
I'm probably at the bar, where that's where a proprietor would probably most likely.
So Valkyrie will just kind of step up beside you, and so first customer? First.
Guest?
Oh
yes,
no, we've had several. Well, yeah, first guest to stay in the inn.
Right,
officially.
To stay in the inn. That's correct.
I mean, obviously you have me and Mishann and the kobolds.
We would never forget about you. Absolutely.
We may want to look into some employee housing. You know,
Sure.
if we want to make the inn part of the venture lucrative, we want to
Yeah.
have as many of those rooms available to paying customers as possible.
You're
Chambermaids and the like.
absolutely right. That's something that we will discuss with Todd to see how we can get that done.
You rang.
Oh,
Todd would
Todd.
speak into both your
Yes.
minds.
So, first question, Todd.
Hmm.
So if someone wants to, like, you know, find me here in the tower, I mean, other than finding me and seeing me, you know, say I was in my room, how would they know? How would a person be able to find me if I was in my room? Because since, you know, you have the whole, like,
Yes.
door thing, it's all the same door.
That is a very good question.
Yes, it is.
All they have to do is is to approach the door, say your name, and knock.
Okay. Okay, so approach door.
Or if you'd like, I can give them pre-permission to enter.
No. I don't think we need to go that far. You know, we want to get to know someone first. But if I, you know, if that becomes a possibility, then I will let you know
All right.
to give them permission or whatever. Thank you, Todd. That was most helpful. Second question, Todd. So we have our first guest. If you didn't know, you know, staying here at the inn. Kind of expanding the room situation.
Yeah.
Probably should be, I mean, maybe kind of top 5 priority for us right now.
Okay. I will rededicate my efforts towards that.
So may I ask what you were dedicating your efforts towards besides that?
Oh, I was translating Allie's journal.
Oh, right. And how long would that take?
I don't know, I wasn't working very hard on it.
Oh. Okay, what else were you doing, Todd? What have you been up to today?
People watching. It's been so long since I've had people.
Oh. Well, people watch all you want to, Todd. Well, I mean, besides doing what needs to be done. You know, work as hard as we work, per se.
All right, I'll go take a nap then.
Before you do, Todd. I guess that was a mental conversation, but was I in on that whole?
You were, yes.
Okay.
And Valkyrie was totally speaking out loud.
Oh, okay. Got to get the whole hang of this mental thing. Todd, in fact, I want to piggyback on that. My high priest is very impressed with your temple, with our temple, and it is now dedicated to our deity, the unknown god. But he would like to explore the possibility of making the temple here in the tower the main place of worship for our congregation, and along with the other workers, you know, the situation with the other workers and stuff that are necessary for the inn, we're going to need some more additional living spaces, I guess, for them. So how do we go about helping you make that happen?
Well, if you come into the command room, we can review your options.
Okay, as soon as I'll turn to Valkyrie, I guess as soon as Nathaniel and the others get back, we'll
Oh, do we have to wait? I mean, okay.
I mean, I don't want to do it without them. I mean, I'm sure they might have some thoughts on it as well.
Okay, all right. She'll just kind of like. So, what did you think about that ring guy?
First impression was okay, but then, you know, you gotta realize, I guess, from what I hear, people from the Fae can be a little duplicitous. sort of, you're not really quite sure where they stand. They have odd reactions to things, and they might be trying to pull one over on people.
Jaynny kind of chuckles as she's cleaning a glass. Since you're at the bar.
Okay, never mind. I was thinking incorrectly about the Kalashtar origins. Interesting.
He just seemed to have an odd reaction to me when I started to describe the nature of my deity, the unknown god. He seemed a little, for lack of it, I guess, tense. Like I struck a nerve with him.
Well, not everyone is religious, Fawn.
No, that's true, and I am accepting of that. I have no problem with that.
I mean, I don't really, my parents worshipped, but I didn't, I don't really, visit temples and stuff. So,
No, that's
but
perfectly
you're
fine.
fine. I have no problem with you whatsoever.
Well, thank
Yeah.
Nor I with you.
Yeah, I did notice a little bit of tenseness, and also, and she'll speak into Vaughn's mind, also with Jaynny. And as she does that, after she does that, she'll kind of like peer, like kind of like try to look like over at Jaynny without being conspicuous about it, but probably being conspicuous.
Jaynny's kind of like right there. You guys are at the bar. She's the bartender.
I will just nod and agree. Well, I can speak to her mentally, right? So,
yeah, you can speak.
You can talk, like seeing you nod, like you can talk to me in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Geez, can we?
Valkyrie's looking at you very intensely.
I find it quite odd that the only people I have 100% trust, besides Mishann, who I've known for years,
Mm-hmm.
and ourselves, are the kobolds. I don't sort of like smile at that.
So you share some of the uneasiness?
Just uneasiness, yeah. I'm not getting that both Jaynny and this Wren fellow they both sort of showed up out of the blue with knowledge.
Ren just got here. Let's not judge right away.
I'm just stating that, it's odd. I find it odd that they both kind of show up, both knowing more about the tower than we did. And
I don't think that they're working together. He acted
No,
like
I think
he
quite the
didn't-
opposite. I think they're rivals. I think they're both seeking something, I think, they're very interested in this tower, and I think they're at odds about it. I think.
Valkyrie's going to like look away from you at Jaynny. Jaynny,
Hmm?
do you have any enemies?
Sure. Doesn't everybody?
Oh, I don't think I do.
Vaughn will be like, not that I can think. I'm not in mortal fear of.
No, this subject
Anyone
just
quite
came
yet.
up, and I just thought I would get people's opinion.
Sure.
You
You guys better not go to Savaga if you're nervous around the Fae.
Oh, I'm not nervous around the Fae.
Okay. I was more Vaughn seemed. Never
Wait, you read
mind.
that from his expression?
You guys were talking out loud at first.
Oh,
We need a blinking indicator when we're.
right. Oh, that's right. She did ask about Ren out loud.
Yes.
Okay.
Mics are hot.
Yes, that's right. Mike's right. Well, you don't have to worry about Foxboy too much. He's not a real Fae.
What do you mean?
Oh, Kitsune are descended from Fae.
Mhm.
Yes, but they only live here in the material plane. They don't live in the Feywild.
Oh, so it's kind of like Kalashtar with the dream plane.
Sure. Yes, kind of like that, I suppose you could say. Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with Kalashtar, Jaynny?
Vaguely,
Okay.
more or less. There aren't many of you in the archipelago.
Well, Makes us even more rare, I guess. Okay, well, thank you for answering my question,
Of course.
Jaynny. Appreciate it. Good work as always. Um,
Of course.
all right. So let's go and find Nathaniel, Vaughn. Let's go in so we can have this convo.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
Nathaniel, you're wandering around Vicar's Rock. Are you wandering? Are you?
I was just gonna
I
kill
know
an hour.
you're
basically.
killing. I know you're killing time, but do you want to kill time doing anything specific?
Kill time killing people? I don't know.
I mean, I can kill people, but I think Vaughn might get upset by that.
Maybe.
Just because, his home,
Mm-hmm.
cutting
Might be
down
somebody he
people.
knows.
Might be somebody he knows. I create an enemy. Let's do it. I'll just kill everybody. No.
Nathaniel, don't go murder hobo on us.
I got to though. You don't No, nothing in particular. Nathaniel will just kind of get used to the area overall. Just
All right.
used to seeing farmlands and stuff, and just
As you are walking around, you see a familiar face. Not intimately familiar, just like, oh, I've seen you before familiar. And it's that white-eared, white-robed woman. And she's kind of standing on a little hillside just outside the edge of town, kind of looking east over the sea.
I will go and look at east and see what's over the sea, basically. Because
So you're gonna go try just like stand right next to her?
I'll kind of walk up and hello, just kind of keep walking to kind of view that way.
She doesn't turn and acknowledge your presence. She says, hello. The ocean's beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
Why are you
Nathaniel.
here?
Oh,
She'll turn to
This
you
is-
as that.
quick stop, I suppose. Why are you here?
Errand. For home. Should be leaving soon. Tell me,
Where's-
are you
Go ahead.
really?
Am I really what? Sorry.
Never mind. I'm sorry. That was rude of me. I should know better.
Oh, please ask.
Is that what you really look like? This isn't necessarily what I really look like. And you'll see her shapeshift into a humanoid fox. Pure white. Flecks of gold.
Of course, this is my look. This is what I've always looked like.
Okay. Give a fox smile. Which, of course, also just kind of like baring her teeth. But not snarling.
So, not snarling. Thank God. I thought I was going to die again.
Yeah, no. It's just, I mean, it's obviously a smile, but it's also a little off-putting because it is not a human smile.
I mean, if anything, This is who I am. Normally.
Fair enough. You don't have to tell me your secrets. I told you it was rude to ask. Us natural shape changers always have a sense, though.
I've heard that said before.
I imagine. Well, have a nice day. And she turns and walks, and you see her kind of go back to her more human-looking form, and as she does, her 6 white tails kind of meld into her robe. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't ask your name.
Nathaniel. And yours?
Fen. Pleasure.
Pleasure. I didn't catch the name.
Yeah, it got chopped. Yeah, it got
Because
chopped.
you got chopped a little.
Fen.
Fen?
Ah.
I mixed up my names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Wanted to make sure I wrote that down correctly.
Yeah, and she just kind of walks away along the coast. You know, wander back to the smithy.
Wander back to the smithy I go. And
All right. You you make it back to the smithy, and there's Mathea. Hair's not wrapped up in a dirty cloth anymore. It definitely looked like she's cleaned up, and she looks quite nice. Red hair, green eyes, some freckles. She's cute. And seems dressed in maybe not her average everyday outfit. Well, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Excellent. Follow me. And she'll start walking you walking you in a direction. Seems to be west of the village. You guys are passing through what looks to be maybe a cornfield.
And the tower is south of the village, right?
Correct.
Okay, just making sure.
And so you travel often?
Not too often now. Been traveling a lot lately after got done with going to the college.
Oh, a college? Is that the
Cape Verdigris?
Yeah, I've heard a couple travelers come through talking about that. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's where I originally met my friends, and we traveled here, basically, from there.
Oh, and where's home before that?
Home before was Akron.
Oh. Okay. She kind of gets quiet at that.
Is everything okay?
Yeah. You know, just some of the ships from the merchant fleet that come through here with supplies every now and then. They just tell stories about Vicar that they're building a navy, I think it was.
They're building a navy? That's interesting.
Yeah. It's making everyone a little nervous, honestly.
Has anything else been said about it? Or just
I mean,
about it in general? I haven't been there in God's no.
a while.
A while.
Well, it's Yeah, I don't know. It's all just rumors, really. But they say that the new Lord Protector is interested in establishing order in the archipelago. I always thought that everything was perfectly fine, except for the occasional pirates, from the collective.
The hang on. I gotta pull up my own notes now, even more so.
No, no, no.
So I cannot remember the.
You may or may not have ever heard of the Pirates Collective.
Yeah. No, I just can't remember the protector's name. The Lord Protector.
Allard.
Allard, thank you.
You're welcome.
I know Allard, when he became Lord Protector, he wanted peace. That's what his goal was originally, I thought.
I think
So-
that's still the message. Securing it through any means necessary, I suppose.
I heard stories too, about a rebellion there that happened after something about him being challenged or something.
Yeah, those are my favorite stories. Someday I'd like to meet the Valkyrie. I'm sure she's incredible.
Can you tell me anything about the Valkyrie?
Oh,
Because I haven't heard much.
all kinds of things, like her and just a few ragtag mercenaries against a whole battalion, and they're the ones that emerge victorious from the skirmish, those kinds of things. I am assuming they're blown out of proportion a little bit, but, well, when all of its stories, when we're this far away, it's nice to know that there's a hero in the story, I suppose. Or heroine.
That's true. It's always nice to have some hope.
Absolutely. Oh, well, here we are. At least the processing place. It's just a little building, like almost like a shed.
It's just a little shed in the woods.
It's not in the woods. It's like
Oh.
a field. And it's
gotcha.
kind of at the edge of what looks to be like a quarry, mine quarry kind of area. And she'll unlock and open up the shed, and you see in there some, mithril,
All kinds of mithril.
raw in the raw. But it's been separated from. So I guess it's not in the raw. It's been purified. There aren't any. It just doesn't have any rocks in it anymore. It's just
Okay, so it's already been.
processed to it's been
refined.
refined. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
How much for some mithril,
Oh well.
if selling?
I mean, you've been nice enough to walk out here with me. I suppose I could part with an ingot. She'll give you a shy smile.
I would appreciate it. Thank you.
And she'll pluck up a ingot of mithril and hand it to you. Why, there you go, Sir Nathaniel.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Just promise that you'll
But
make something extraordinary with it.
I plan to. I have a few ideas that I want to use mithril for.
Great. Glad I could be of service. And she, you guys kind of stroll back to the village, and when you get back to the smithy, she Shannon turns and goes, thanks.
For what?
It's nice talking to somebody who isn't from around here.
It's always interesting to meet new people.
Yeah, it is. You're so you're stuck here for like a week, right?
I think so. I don't know offhand. I actually have to talk to the others and see how long we're actually here, because I don't remember.
Okay. Well, anyway, maybe we could go on another walk.
Maybe.
Great. Well, I'll see you around. And she will enter the smithy.
Give a slight bow before she leaves and be on my way.
All right. You make it back to the tower. And as you step through the front, you immediately step into the command room, where Valkyrie and Vaughan are waiting.
I'm just happily just looking at the mithril as I'm walking in, kind of walking through, not really. This isn't the
foyer.
Nathaniel, you're back.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. We were just about ready to head out to find you, so this works out great.
What's up?
So, Vaughn.
We need to have a discussion about where it looks like we're going to be needing more people and
More
we need to
rooms.
more rooms, and we have to. I guess we want to talk to Todd about how do we make that happen. How Todd because obviously, I mean, with guests, well, not so much guests, but the staff to support the guests. The kobolds that are occupying guest room right now, which is not exactly great.
True.
And my high priest was very impressed with the temple, and he would like to make it the main temple of my religion, which will require some additional people being here.
Really?
How is that going to work, Fawn? Like, how are they... So the temple... So this tower moves. How are they going to get to the temple? Like, what? Is it just going to be just like, well, we don't know where the main temple is going to be next?
I mean, I guess it's a good sales pitch, because the unknown god travels unknownly.
It's something like that, with these things.
Are we going to have a bunch of religious people here?
Probably.
Maybe. And they could be staying as guests. People who wish to come and worship and pay homage.
Okay.
So, these things are going to come into play. And as we get additional staff, I mean, wait staff, chambermaids for the guest rooms.
Or chambermen.
That's true. Yes, that's...
Chamber people.
I mean,
Yes,
chamber
people. That's
chamber
it.
people.
Thank you, Nathaniel.
Who said
I did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Todd's inclusive. That's great.
Always. Gender's irrelevant anyway.
So, Todd, you were going to present us with some options?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Are you done with your nap? Is this a good time?
Rebooting.
I mean, we're already talking, so
Okay, all right.
it's a
I
little
just wanted
late
make
to maybe
sure.
ask that question.
Okay. So how should I, just in case you're taking a nap, how should I check to see if you're maybe taking a nap or busy with something else? Does it matter, or, is there
Technically, I'm a construct, so I don't need sleep.
well, you mentioned earlier that you were taking a nap, so
I
you're
more
going
meant that
to?
I would be taking a nap from my endeavors.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's cool. All right.
Yes, well, step right over here, and the chairs kind of move back a little bit, and a little light picture pops up. This is the current configuration of the tower. You have the entrance of the tower here, and it enters into the audience chamber, what you've been calling the foyer, which then leads into the inn. And off of the inn are your private rooms, and the temple, and off of the temple is the arboretum. We have a few different options of how... Oh, and yes, I guess the control room is kind of off the inn as well.
Okay, what are those options, Todd?
Well, you can reconfigure this any way you desire, really. It's just a matter of changing the positions of the connections for me. Inconsequential. I will need something of power in order to... Usually I can do more based off of you all getting stronger, but seeing as you have not in the last 24 hours, there isn't really more rooms that I can add unless I am given something magical.
What do you mean, Todd?
Do you?
Anything magical?
Sure. Do you have any magic items?
Oh. Let me just... And she'll start rustling through her bag. No.
Haha, just kidding. I mean, I already know what you have, obviously, but... Go ahead. Sorry, I'm told that's not rude. That is rude? Yes.
Nathaniel chuckles.
Valkyrie will look at Nathaniel and just give him a quick glare, which is before looking back in her bag. Well, I don't think I have anything right now. I guess my question would be, Todd, like...
What about those beans?
Beans?
Beans.
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 We have beans?
Beans?
I know it's not magical per se, but they say caffeine's good for
Coffee beans? You want a bag of coffee beans?
Sure, why not? Oh, or that figurine from your room.
I'm unsure what that figurine does, Todd. Could you tell me what that figurine does?
No.
Well,
Will you keep it from me if I do tell you what it does?
I mean, I don't know what it is. I know it's magical, but I mean, it's kind of a mystery, and I'd feel kind of cheated if I just gave it over without figuring it out, you know?
Suit yourself.
I mean, what if it's something interesting, Todd?
What if it is?
Um,
It depends. Do you want to pursue your interests? Or would you like, more interesting people to gather here in the tower?
well, I wouldn't really call finding out what a figurine like is as an interest of mine. It's just curiosity, Todd. We humans, we have well, I mean, not humans, but we people, humanoids, have curiosity, Todd.
Yes. And?
We're curious about things.
Okay.
Okay.
The most logical way to proceed would be to give me the figurine so I can create these living quarters that you desire.
The figurine will allow you to create living quarters.
Yes. I will use its latent magic,
Okay, Todd.
draining
okay.
it of all anything, and
All right, I got you.
ultimately
She's like walking out of
destroying
the
the
room.
item.
She's like walking out of the room and going towards her bedroom to get
Or
the
you could
figurine.
give me your coffee.
Well, okay, she'll
Or
stick her head
your
back
soul.
in. So, you could do the same thing with the coffee beans.
Well, I'm not promising anything, but
Todd.
what?
Okay. All right. Here. Here. You can have these coffee beans.
Okay.
Will this satisfy your hunger, Todd?
Sure.
Okay. Noted. Should I look out for coffee beans for you? Is this something that you like? Is this an interest of yours, Todd?
I do like coffee. Yes.
Okay.
Don't brew
She'll
it
look
though,
at-
just the beans.
She'll look at Vaughn and Nathaniel. Noted. Right. Okay. Yeah, take the coffee beans, Todd, please.
Thank you. Place them into my mouth.
You have a
okay.
mouth?
Where's your mouth at, Todd?
The giant approximation of a face on the wall does indeed have a mouth.
Oh,
creepy.
I'm not sure I
Okay.
ever noticed that there. Okay, she'll like take the bag over and like, here you go.
Thank
Eat
you. And the mouth will just close on it. Ah, coffee. Yeah, no, that's not enough for me to do anything. It doesn't have any magic in it.
Todd, you should have. Valkyrie will leave and go to her room to get the figurine,
Mm.
and then come back with it. Okay, here.
I mean, you could
here's-
also give me that ring.
No, my family gave me this ring, Todd. It's
Oh.
important to me.
Am I not your family?
Do you want to be my family, Todd?
I don't know. It's just a question.
I mean, you can be my family too, but I also have like Kalashtar family that, parents, a sister, a brother. Well,
I
more
don't know
than
if I
that.
have any siblings. I think I'm an only child.
Oh, well, you can be a part of my family, Todd.
Thanks.
Here. Are you sure you can't tell me what this does before you eat it up and I'll never know?
I mean, if it's not a sacrifice you are willing to make, then don't make
No,
it.
it's just a figurine I stole. And which neither of you knew about because you didn't see her steal it.
I'm just assuming that you always had it.
Well, she said
She
out loud,
just-
it's
yeah.
just
Oh,
a
you
figurine
just said that out
I
loud?
stole.
Okay. He'll just sort of like one will just
Okay.
Like,
And do you want
that
this?
Valkyrie.
Do you want this in your mouth too, Todd?
No, I just did that for fun. And the figurine will just disappear.
Okay.
From your
I'm
hands.
glad I didn't have to put that in your mouth, Todd. That would have been a little
Ooh.
bit much.
I'm feeling inspired. Would you mind if I took the lead on this reorganization?
Please take the lead.
Excellent. And you see all of those little tiny little pictures of the rooms kind of shuffle around.
Wait,
Nothing
Todd.
happens. Nothing happens to
Todd.
the people in those rooms.
Todd.
No.
Todd.
They're all pocket dimensions.
Okay,
And-
but Valkyrie's still going to ask Todd. We did have people. Our guest was, I think, in his room. That's where I left him.
That's fine. The
He's
inn
okay,
is,
right?
of course, I would not harm anyone unless. Do you wish me to harm them?
No, I don't wish you to harm him, Todd. I'm
Oh.
just making sure that this just didn't kick him into another plane of
I mean,
dimension.
I can make sure he never wakes up if you desire.
Well, that's an
Can you
interesting
now?
thing to note, and I'm going to note that
Ha
down.
ha 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 ha. Not really. I'm not omnipotent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not here to shame you, Todd.
Okay. Thank you, Valkyrie.
You're welcome, Todd.
And then the rooms kind of settle down, and then you have and you see it's the entrance, and then the inn / tavern, and off of off of that is the temple. And off of the temple is the control room and the arboretum. And what looked to be living quarters. A whole bunch of them. A plethora. And I feel like I missed something. Oh yeah, and the audience chamber is off of the inn, in opposite of the temple.
Okay.
There. Now all of your visitors from the material plane will enter immediately into your tavern. And once we have the planar beacon up and running, your planar visitors will arrive in the audience chamber.
That sounds great, Todd. You really knocked this out of the park.
Thanks. What's a park?
Well,
Do you want me to add a park?
We'll talk about that later. That's not high on the priority list, Todd.
Okay.
If anything, we could use a post office.
A post office.
Is that
Good.
really that's high on the priority list of
Yes.
things that we need?
Give me your bracelet, Nathaniel, and I can do that.
Valkyrie's gonna give him a like,
See?
I think Sutton would be upset if I did that. So,
Oh.
I'm sure
think-
she would understand.
This doesn't. I mean, I'll say to Nathaniel, don't worry about it. This doesn't have to be done now. And
no,
I'll
I'm not
I'll
saying now. I was saying
Yeah.
overall.
Oh,
I mean-
so you both were okay with me giving up
No,
something
I
that
was
was
just-
magical,
I
but
was
well,
just-
neither of you said anything.
Well,
But
but
I
you
was giving
stole
up something magical.
and was giving it up,
Please.
while
You
the
didn't
others
know.
a gift.
You
I
didn't
was-
know.
I
You
was
just thought it was
said
a,
it.
You just thought it was a figurine
But
at
you
first.
said it. So
At the end, after I'd
therefore-
already agreed to give it to Todd. Todd, can you
I mean,
believe
you-
this? Can
you said you
see what I
stole
have
it,
to
so
put
I
up
mean,
with?
it's not that big of a deal for you,
It was
apparently.
at the end.
Imagine how much worse it is for me. I have to put up with all of you.
We all look at that. Valkyrie.
I mean, I'll give you my boots if that's a thing, but
Are those your
I'll just
magic boots?
yeah. I can remake boots. I can make new boots.
That's right. Have my boots been added to my inventory,
No.
Andrew? Okay.
I will, yeah. Let me eat your shoes.
Why does that sound so wrong?
Why does that make me uncomfortable?
Let me just eat your shoes. I've been walking in them all day, so they've got. Okay,
Bing! They're gone.
go for it.
Do you have shoes to wear, Nathaniel?
All
I'm
right.
gonna make some.
And
I'm
then
more.
you
gonna go
see-
make some.
And then you see kind of fade into existence off of the audience chamber. What looks like just a little room, and then above it appears the words "post office" with a little line designating that box is the post office. Now you just need a postmaster.
See, and that would be easy to find, maybe somewhere, probably.
Out of character question for you, DM.
Yep.
So we have the post office room now, and then what was the room situation that we were able to get?
And it looks like plenty of rooms for everybody.
So plenty of rooms for both guests and for workers.
Right. So now it looks like that there are 10 guest rooms
Okay.
and an undeterminable number of rooms clustered together off of the temple.
For workers.
Hmm.
Okay.
It kind of
Perfect.
looks like, so it's like a hall that goes in, and there's little rooms off of the hall, and then it's like duplicates of that level in both directions, except it just kind of, there's no definitive end. It just fades.
Wow. It's fancy. Okay. All right. Wow, this is very productive. Valkyrie will look at Vaughn. Vaughn, is there anything that you want to give up something for?
No, not at the moment. Thank you very much. I was just about to say
Ah.
before that I thank you very much for giving up that item you had. I mean, you didn't have to. I mean, I imagine that our continuing quests and adventures, we're going to find magical items that we don't need, and we could use them to.
Oh, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, it's still appreciated. I appreciate that.
Insight check.
Oh,
Go
sure.
ahead.
Was it
Roll
a
away,
big
baby.
deal? I'm gonna
Oh,
roll
to
away.
her. You
For her,
said
not for
Valkyrie. Okay.
no, for Valkyrie. Just because she was all over everything a moment ago about. At 20.
Boom, nat 20.
Ooh.
I don't know, Vaughn.
No.
What's up?
It was to me,
It
I
was-
think.
Oh,
It's
to-
for
That was
Valkyrie.
I'm
Valkyrie,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
She was okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that. I mean, it kind of bothered her. I mean, you can probably tell from her you could tell from the conversation that it bothered her that she didn't know what it did before giving it up. But also, no, it was just a fig. She stole it, so
Okay.
it wasn't that big of a deal.
I figured
was
she was
just-
just kind of jabbing.
She was just blowing out of proportion to try and guilt y'all. So
That makes sense. Okay.
yeah.
Ooh.
That's all Nathaniel really wanted to know.
Vaughn.
Yes, Todd.
Would you like me to make religious quarters?
Yes. If I mean, I understand it comes at a cost, and I would like to, know what, I don't really think I have.
I would like yourself, as well as all of your cookies and cream espresso energy bites.
Hey Todd.
The bites that we still have.
Hey Todd. Guess what?
What?
I made those.
I know.
How do you know? You weren't there, Todd.
I looked through your memories.
I seeing as
Daniel
every-
takes a step back,
Valkyrie.
closer to the wall.
Valkyrie just. Okay, that makes sense.
seeing as everyone else has made a sacrifice towards the betterment of the tower, I will. Okay, yes, you can. I will take the cookies and cream espresso energy bites, which were, I was looking forward to using them anyway. But and my salve, and of resistance, and awkwardly deposit it into the pseudo mouth.
Oh, you didn't have to not do that. Yeah, no, they disappeared. Thanks. And then you see, yeah, off of a different part of one of the longer walls of the temple, what looks to be a series of religious cells.
Monastery
Yeah,
type rooms. Yeah,
totally.
Very.
yeah, not
Very-
prison cells. Yeah, monastic
No,
cells.
I know. Yes, the
Simple rooms.
very simple
Dorm
yeah,
style living at
exactly.
its finest. There you go. That
Thank you.
should be enough room for people for now. Especially since we'll be accommodating lots of people.
Eventually, yes, as we grow more powerful. We.
Yeah, I guess.
Sure. I was more referring to the High Priest Duck's desire to bring the entire order onto the tower.
Yes, and I greatly appreciate that. This is a unique opportunity.
Indeed.
Monastery Inn, here we come.
Wait,
It is a unique opportunity.
Fawn. So yeah, this is cool and all. It's not going to like.
It's not cool. It's dope.
We're not going to like, this isn't going to like cramp the style, is it? Like,
No, we are not.
becoming a monastery? Are
No.
we?
Now,
No.
it is my understanding that the vicars of the unknown god all have specialties. Crafting specialties, professional specialties.
So we're going to fill every position with vicars.
Why not?
Oh my god.
You won't have to pay them. You just give them room and board.
No, they're just no fun.
And a temple to worship in.
How do you know that? I think she's casting judgment on you, Vaughan.
I think she is.
Throw in what is it? What is it you fleshlings say? Throw in some shade.
Look, I like Vaughan.
That sounds
He's
about right.
fine. But like, I know that I've met religious people in before that are kind of sticks in the mud, and I just don't want to like. I don't want our tavern to be like, oh, like this is where like people walk in and there's a bunch of priests and vicars sitting at the tables.
We're not a group that's all, glum and doom and repent.
We
are a group that celebrates everything good in life.
Do you? I mean,
we're not sticks in the mud. We're normal people. We just worship the unknown god deity, and
that's to be determined, Fawn.
Well,
I mean, not everybody's stick in the mud. Just a lot of them are.
Whoa, Valkyrie coming in hot.
I thought I'll take sort of a self-respective. Am I sticking the mud?
I mean, you're fine, Vaughan. You're great. I'm just not sure that I want 100 of you.
There are not that many vicars, I do not believe. At least I haven't been able to see that many from the tower's position.
Okay. Well, all right.
I can move closer to town.
No.
Get a better look.
I think that might be alarming for people in town, Todd.
Stepping on crops,
Okay. I mean, this is something that we can
hash out as we go.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, we're not celibate. I mean, we're not.
Vaughan, is that all you think I think about?
I'm just.
Nathaniel just clutching along the wall, trying not to go off into full laughter.
Think about it. There will be so many more things to steal.
Do
they have possessions?
I mean, is that you? Do you think that's all Valkyrie thinks about?
Do they bring possessions with them?
I thought
that they were like.
That's all that her friend thinks about.
Well, that's true.
Oh, her friend.
Well, not all. That's not.
Bash.
Let's not put Bash in a box.
Anyways, I mean, we're getting a little far. Yeah.
This conversation's dragging
getting
on.
awkward. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is going to be good. I think in the end, this will be good for all of us.
Sure. And you put that in everyone.
Yeah.
We can hear everything.
Yeah, you almost hear like this weird disembodied voice that sounds very angry. No.
Okay, so we did some good here today. And then as we grow into a monastery, we'll just add some other fun things like tattoo parlors and massage parlors and
no problem with that.
Brothels and
we'll talk.
Hey,
I thought you said you enjoyed life, Vaughan.
Vaughan.
Oh, I certainly do.
Vaughan.
I was thinking marketplace.
No judging. No judging.
Did I say when we were talking about having a monastery here?
It's
we'll
not.
Talk? No, I was like, I was upset, but I was going to let you do it because you're a dominator, as am I.
Yes.
So,
as we talked about the monastery, we will talk about other things.
Valkyrie's gonna look at Nathaniel. Brothel. And then she's going to. She said that in his mind, and then she'll step out.
Excellent.
You are not
But what-
being scanned.
But what about
As
a
she yells
marketplace?
as she exits.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, good conversation.
Good talk. Good talk. Things are accomplished.
So,
So,
where should I
Todd-
put Valkyrie's room?
Her
Where it always has been. I mean, it's
Oh.
its own demi-plane.
Well, yes, but should I put it off of the arboretum? Or should I put it off of one of the guest rooms?
That's up to her. I would think she would want to make that choice.
You're no fun.
Well,
says in
I
my
don't-
mind arboretum. To Todd.
Ha. I'm gonna tell her you said that. And right there,
It
we're
wasn't
gonna
me, it's Sethan.
go. Yeah, okay. Seth. We're gonna go ahead and take our bio break. We're at exactly halfway. So for those of you just tuning in, 8 to 10 minutes bio break.
Yeah, yeah.
Grab some water, freshen up,
Mhm.
and we'll be back for some more Todd show, I guess.
Yeah, at least
Welcome to the Todd Show. Your host.
Todd.
I'm so glad we spent a half hour arguing and talking with Todd. That's-
It's the greatest. At least you guys are gonna leave the tower soon.
This is like the new DLC for The Sims.
My
The
my
Sims
mind,
Power
my
Edition.
mind, my mind is
Oh.
like that needs to be a thing now. The Todd Show. It needs to be a thing.
Oh my gosh.
The control room's going to turn into like a talk show set.
Talk show.
With
Yeah.
the desk, and the couch.
Porting in random people. Hi, welcome to the Todd Show.
We're bringing you from. We're coming to you live from the Tower of Dreams.
look at that.
All right, we will be right back. Mics are hot.
Okay, it's on. I do have a pair of boots. It's not homebrew boots. It's just traveling boots. Well, not really traveling boots. It's my old city watch
Right.
boots. I have boots that I can work off of. Make
Other boots.
Correct.
crafting. I'm not gonna be barefoot, guys. I'm not a halfling.
I have to say, one of my favorite parts is the ongoing conspiracy theories about how things are going to turn out in the chat.
Oh, yeah. I've been reading a few of them. Some of them, like, pretty good, I thought.
Yep. I have to find a way to bring Mad Adder back. Maybe Mad Adder's the big bad.
Just collect enough souls,
Yep.
enough dancing people.
Oh, power!
Unlimited power.
Alright, we ready?
Mhm.
Yay, we're back! Alright. So yeah, Valkyrie, you just walked out of the room and left Nathaniel and Vaughan standing there awkwardly.
Again.
Again.
Yeah, well, you left us
At the beginning of the
The ent-
episode.
at the entrance to go walk
yeah.
Ren around,
That's
and then you
true.
left us again.
That's true.
So, Todd, I have a question.
Sure.
What happened to the previous Dominators? I've been meaning to ask, and
I don't remember.
even with gaining some of your memory back,
Correct.
partial, smidge.
I mean, the last thing I remember is the previous Dominator. Sabotaging me, shutting me down. Taking my keys and conductors away. And leaving me in the middle of a jungle. Which I guess eventually became a very different kind of island.
Do you remember his name?
I do not. I am sorry.
All right.
And he's the only Dominator that you remember? There were no others
I
a
think
party with him?
he was only Dominator for a brief while, long enough to take me apart and put me to sleep. Before him, there was only one. My family, I suppose. Parent.
Do you know their name by chance?
No. I cannot remember them at all. Other than that, they were very, very, very skilled in magic.
Thank you, Todd. I figured I'd ask since you gained a little bit of memory.
Well, you know, maybe you'll find more fragments.
That
Maybe.
will help. Okay.
Good talk.
Always.
With that, I'll tell Nathaniel I'm going to go to the temple and let the kobolds know they don't have to stay all cramped into one room. In the end, that they have their own, point them to the living quarters.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go get another pair of boots.
All right.
That would be a good idea. All right.
So be it. Then, Valkyrie, what are you doing?
I don't know if there's anything in particular in mind. Probably like you just kind of go and hang out in the tavern just to see if Ren comes out of his room.
Okay. Sounds good. Nathaniel, are you going into town to try to acquire boots? Or are you gonna go make boots?
Go make boots.
Okay.
I can. See how bad I do at making boots.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and make a craft action.
I shall.
Straight. 1d6.
1d6.
Uh-huh.
Even though I'll have a helper.
Oh, okay, 2d6.
Yes. So it's just a +2 craft action. +1. Which
Yep.
one is it?
Yeah, +1.
+1, okay. I'm trying to click on it and it's not letting me click on it.
You click on the little thunderbolty thing.
Yeah, I clicked on it and then it closed it.
Spyglass. The spyglass.
Yeah. Click on the little spyglass and then click on the lightning bolt.
Oh, okay.
Ba-jom! Sorry, I rolled 1 for you, but...
Oh, I was about to say. 'Cause it actually... There.
We'll go
Hey.
with...
Oh!
It's just...
We'll say you had advantage.
I had advantage, so
Yeah.
I could re-roll.
No. Like,
Oh.
we'll count that as advantage.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So... Yeah, you're able to make a pair of boots. They're not the prettiest boots you've ever seen in the world. But they're sturdy.
They're functioning.
They are.
Put them on.
Excellent.
Doesn't even fit my foot, probably.
That takes you the rest of the day.
Takes me
Basically.
the rest of the day to put it on.
Yes, to put the boots on, not to make them, to put them on. Making them was like a minute. Putting them
New
on.
boots. They're stiff. They don't flex well.
Yeah, you just sit there like wearing them in a little bit, like just massaging the leather to get it a little more flexible.
All right. I know what I did for the day.
Woohoo! All right. Vaughan, you enter into the temple.
I look for number 1.
Oh, Vaughan, it happened.
What?
I had faith, and the door appeared over behind the altar.
Yes, it did. And that's, I was just coming to tell you that we, yes, we spoke with Todd, and Todd helped us make some better living quarters for you and the rest of the kobolds, so you don't have to all spend up, be in that one room cramped up. but you'll be joined by it's going to be the general living quarters for all the people who work here.
Okay.
So just know that you won't be the only ones there. Just be aware.
Kobolds make good neighbors.
I'm sure they do.
I'll go tell everyone else. Number 1 shuffles off.
Great.
Anything else?
Well, now that I've done that, I will probably, depending on the time, I guess if there's time, run into town and let Duck know that we have arranged for the temple to become the main temple.
There's time.
All right, so I will saunter off into Vicar's Rock.
Great. You make it to the shrine, and you find Duck already packing things.
Duck, your faith in me is well founded, I hope.
Always. Would never would never doubt you, Vaughan.
I appreciate that, and I will never doubt you. We have spoken with the goblin that runs the tower, and in exchange for some magical items, which I guess he requires some things to make these demi-planes expand and happen, he has created the necessary living space and quarters for you to establish, the main temple.
Thank
in
you,
the tower.
I cannot tell you, but even begin to tell you how excited I am about this opportunity. There's something about that place. Have you felt it?
It's certainly
It's almost as if we can feel the unknown god there more powerfully.
seems to be I don't want to say a conduit, but for the kobolds to have a happy accident, desecrate the altar. I mean, consecrate the altar, not desecrate. Consecrate the altar, and having the unknown god see it and recognize it and take it as his temple is certainly a sign of something greater. I think it's wise of you to take advantage of this.
I agree. We're of course not totally abandoning the monastery.
No.
But we'll bring a full 15 full vicars and 5 of the initiates. I don't know if you want to open up the invitation to the town folk or not.
I guess we'll take it as it comes. See what our needs are, because we won't be leaving for, at least we have some business in Australia, and
That's true. There's time.
yeah, the tower won't be moving. I don't anticipate the tower moving for at least a couple weeks, maybe a month. Plenty of time to get things sorted out. But I look forward to having you near and having the main temple close by.
Well, it'll be good to have you around again too, Vaughan. We have
Excellent.
missed you here, you know.
Well,
Isn't
that's
quite the same. You remember that time when you were little? Well, okay, I can't quite remember. Did was it you or was it Kent that was leading the acolytes sneaking around after dark?
sort of embarrassingly, but it was probably me.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Kent's the one who came and snitched on you all. Yes.
Makes a mental note. Kent's not coming into the tower.
Anyone named Kent out.
Yeah. It's, yeah. There's a lot of memories here. I'm going to miss this place. Can you facilitate a conversation with the tower entity?
Yes, it's we call him Todd.
Todd.
Short for yes.
I'd love to be able to ask him a favor. Ask it a favor.
Okay. I just, not that I have full trust in you. It's just, we try to, the group that we're, we try to do things as a unit. So I don't want to go behind their backs and have you have a discussion with Todd without them being around. I hope you understand.
Of course. I feel a little odd speaking of the secrets of our order around the uninitiated, though.
Maybe we'll approach it that you just want to have a chat with Todd, and if it would be okay if you could have a chat with Todd. That we don't have to be,
All right. Fair enough.
Okay, I'll address that as when we get back.
Great. I'll finish packing and start taking down a couple of the decorations. Try. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
I'll see you back at the temple then.
Yes. Yes. I suppose you shall. Valkyrie, what are you drinking while you wait?
She'd probably order her favorite, or the one that was made that she liked, which is, so that was like a couple of weeks ago, I think. Oh wait, yeah. Here we go.
Banshee's Breath that had those like the minty kind of menthol.
You want the shiny tea?
Yeah, it was the Banshee's Breath. That was it.
Okay. Yeah, Jaynny will whip you up a Banshee's Breath. Here you go, boss.
Thank you, Jaynny.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful as always.
Of course. I always do it right.
Yes, you do. Valkyrie's trying to act. When she said boss, she just kind of like straightened up and was like,
Well, yes, I am.
Is everything going well? Everything good?
Oh, sure. I was
You enjoying your quarters, okay?
Quarters? Did you get new quarters
Yes.
made? Yes.
We
I'll
have
to
plenty
go.
of rooms for the staff now.
Can
Plus, yes.
Can I go claim mine now?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. I'll watch the bar.
Oh, thank God. And
Plus 10 guest rooms.
now we're talking. And she'll head out. Which way was it? That way. Okay.
That way. Yeah.
Heads into the temple and rapidly crosses and into the doors that lead to the living areas. To claim her space.
Wonderful.
And right after she leaves the room, Ren comes down the stairs.
Oh.
Well, hello.
So, how's the room?
It's nice.
Good.
This is a very fascinating structure.
Yes. just so you know, I had forgotten before, but we do have like 10 guest rooms now, so you won't be living amongst the staff any longer.
Ah, well, this didn't bother me. That's fine.
Oh, good. Well,
No
you
worries at all.
I haven't lived beside the kobolds, so I'm not sure if any of them were in their room making a ruckus. I don't know what they do.
Well, some chirps and squeaks could be heard from now and then, but they were down the hall, so it didn't matter.
Okay.
It's okay.
Well, good, good.
Is this a well-stocked bar?
Yeah, I think Jaynny gets what we can get. It has some, yes. Yeah.
Okay. And he'll jump up and slide across the bar top to the other side and mix himself a drink. And, leave out what he's guessing is the price, along with what he's guessing is a generous tip.
You better not do that when Jaynny is around. She might get a little upset. It's kind of her space,
Is it? Is it, though?
We've let her take that space. Yes, so yes, it is, technically. She has some responsibilities here. Do you know her? You seem a little uncomfortable.
It's more her smell than anything.
Oh. I don't smell anything when I'm around her. Do I need to have a hygiene talk with her?
No. No, you're not a fox. So.
No, I'm not.
He'll slide back across and sit on the stool casually next to you and sip whatever drink he made himself. Be careful. It's very hard to evict her kind.
Her kind? What do you mean?
It's interesting. I can't actually talk about it. I'm trying.
Can you write it down?
I can try. Do you have paper?
She'll get out her journal and just kind of tear a piece out and give him her pen, ink pen.
And he'll try writing, and it looks just like total chicken scratch. It's like, nope, can't write it either.
That's weird. But it's something strange.
Yes, it is.
I mean, she seems normal.
Okay.
I mean... Okay.
I'm sure she's lovely.
Yeah, but you just told me to watch out for her.
Yes.
Or that her kind is hard to evict.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Interesting. I don't seem to remember. And at that, the new, shiny, double, big wooden doors to the tavern that lead outside open, and in walks a white-robed person that you had seen earlier in the shrine.
Oh.
There you are, Ren. What is it exactly that you are doing in this place? I was
Valkyrie put down her drink.
curious. Why? What's it to you? Come on. We have to go home. I don't know if I want to go home. I think I'm going to stay here for a while. I've made some new friends. I got myself a room.
You paid for it.
Her face will darken at that comment. Did you spend some of the money that our grandmother gave us for this trip? She's so uptight. Sorry, I should introduce you. Valkyrie, this is my sister, Fen.
Hello, Fen. You look lovely.
Thanks. I know you have some modicum of control here. Would you mind evicting this one so I can drag him home? I actually can't do anything if he stays here.
So, definitely quite the dilemma.
Ren will chug his drink, set the glass firmly down onto the bar and go, don't make the... don't give people difficult choices and drag them into our own family drama. Don't need to make a scene. I'll come, I suppose. And then, ignoring Fen, will turn to you, but I will be back, and we'll pick up where we left off. Until then.
Okay.
Sounds
good.
He'll give a very courteous bow, at which Fen will roll her eyes, and they will both turn into their full fox forms, so tiny little foxes, like actual foxes, but with lots of tails. 3 tails on the black one, which is Ren, and 6 on the white one, which is Fen, and they scamper out of the doors.
How does this keep happening? Valkyrie says to no one. Drama, family. Well, she's probably talking to Vash, honestly. Drama, family, sisters, brothers. How does this happen? How do I keep finding myself in this situation? Sure, it's interesting. Yeah, sure. But also, can't I just meet... Can't someone just come by that doesn't have, like, family drama, or I'm not drawn in some kind of some kind of pact with their family, or, you know, they turn out to be like weird, I don't know, brother sister gods or brother sister foxes or whatever the heck else has been happening. I don't know. Is it me, Vash? Do I draw these people in? Is this just how... Is it my face? Do I just have one of those faces that just, you know, hey, like, well, I mean, sure. I mean, you know, she was pretty, yeah. I mean, that's not really my thing, but yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sure by certain standards, they could both be considered hot. Absolutely. I mean, that sounds, yeah, fine. But it was still drama. I'm not used to this. No. I know the difference between real life and a fairy tale, Vash. I am well aware. But, I mean, come on. There are people out there who don't have, you know, all of these complicated issues. I mean, everyone has drama, yes, but, like, usually you find that down the road. It's not within, like, the first few days of knowing them. You don't, you know, say, play a harmonica they gave you and meet their mother. I don't understand. Sure. If I ever... sure. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, no, you're right. It's just very complicated. I wasn't raised in this environment, Vash. You know that. My family's simple. Like, you know, we just lived there, and my parents made jewelry, and I'm gonna go and find the guys. She'll go off and try to find either Nathaniel or Vaughan or someone just to... Did Jaynny come back? Wait, I can't leave the bar until Jaynny comes back. Where is Jaynny?
She'll come back right then. I found the perfect room.
That's great.
I can't
That's good.
wait to get it all set up. You know, like Blair.
Yeah.
Haha.
Yeah. Did she catch any of my like ranting? Did she come back like right after I stopped ranting?
Yeah. She didn't catch
Right.
any of it.
Right. So, Jaynny, as I said, we do have 10 guest rooms, and I think all 10 guest rooms might be available now because I think the fox just left
Oh,
with his sister.
well, it's for the best. I'm sure.
Jaynny, let me ask you a question.
At least he paid before he left.
This is true. He didn't ask for a refund, although he said he'd be back, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be like today back.
Hmm.
Do I seem like I have the type of personality that just attracts drama? Do I seem like that type to you? She'll like take another drink and like,
No. Absolutely not. I mean, I can see why maybe some drama would pop up around you.
why's that?
Oh, come on. You're a perfectly alluring young woman. Why shouldn't all these
Yeah, but
male
it's not popping
humanoids
up around
be...
me. It's I'm being. Have you ever felt like you're just being drawn into people's drama, like right from the start? You know, like I meet these hot men, but then they have all this drama attached to them. I'm not sure.
What exactly happened when his sister came here? Was there a scene?
I mean, not a huge scene, but like, you know, he apparently the money that he spent on the room was his grandmother's money, and then his sister was really upset about that, and then was like, hey, you need to come home, and then like talked to me and was like, hey, you need to evict him. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm not sure I want to do that, but I didn't say that, I kept it to myself. But before I could answer it, he went back with his sister and was like, hey, bye, but I'll be back some other time.
How many tails did she have?
I think 3?
6.
6. I didn't catch that.
Oh.
She had 6 tails.
Do you know anything about Kitsune?
No, I've never met a Kasuna in my life. I mean,
Well,
I'm from a small mining town, Jaynny. I mean, we have drow and we have a couple
Oh.
other different races, but no
Oh.
fox people.
well. Tails, the number of tails, depending on who you ask, denote power, wisdom, but whatever you want to delineate it as, it's kind of like a ranking system.
Well, she was wearing a white robe too. When she was white, does that make a difference? If she's wearing like a white...
Yeah, let's just say she probably outranks him by a couple tiers of society.
And that matters in their society? Ranking systems?
I think so. I haven't had a lot of experience with them. I've only been to their island once.
You said it was pretty cool. Is it a pretty cool island?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely pristine.
Gotcha. You know,
They have the funniest boats.
what kind of boats do they have, Jaynny?
Oh, they're just not, the boats of the great merchant fleet are so big and their boats are very, very slender.
Oh, interesting.
Quite interesting. I thought so. Anywho,
Jaynny, I watched your posts, and other than that drama, nothing else happened, so...
great. I'll start working my way through the queue.
Oh, and we're working on a post office as well.
Oh, more connected with the civilized
And
world,
you might have some more
then.
you might have some more vicars coming through, and she'll kind of like, finish her drink.
Oh.
Thank you, Jaynny, and start heading out.
Wait. Can we establish pecking order? Are some
Yes,
of them
we-
gonna work work for me?
Whenever it starts happening, absolutely, you will be included on the conversations, Jaynny.
Okay.
Okay.
I think Vaughan told me that I could be front of house manager.
He did say that, didn't he? We will discuss this. Yes, absolutely. That will be in the discussions that we have.
Okay.
You're doing great. Bye. Great job.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Very good. Vaughn, I'm assuming we're heading back to the tower.
Yes.
And Nathaniel, yeah, we're in the evening, and at this point, I really just want to. So you guys are here for a week, waiting for this little shrine island, or you can travel up and around. It takes approximately the same amount of time. Do you guys just want to hunker down and wait a week?
So it takes the same amount of time for us to.
It takes a little
around.
longer going around. Like half a week longer.
But we'll still get there on time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess like.
Yeah, the shrine's technically faster again by a few days. But it's waiting for a week and then getting on it and riding up for a week.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Todd, if we
Yeah.
take the long walk,
Yes.
are we walking through the elemental planes, or
Not the planes themselves. Areas of the material plane that have been severely impacted by the planar bleeding on the archipelago.
so? How would the going be, so to say?
I suppose it depends on the route that you took. Getting up to Ovragos shouldn't be a problem. Crossing Mistralia to Fleawell from Ovragos might be hairy.
The island takes us directly to the floating island. Takes us directly to Varagos.
Fleawell.
Oh, Fleawell at the bottom. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then how do we get from Fleawell? How do we get to Varagos? We just walk there.
If that's where you desire to go, yes.
Okay.
I believe Sethin's family was in Fleawell, though.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so this was the quickest route.
Oh, they should wait then.
Yeah. To get to Fleawell, if that's okay.
So, what you guys doing for a week? Montage. Oh, sorry.
I have a
We would
montage.
probably bake a couple of times. As well as I don't know if she had any like outstanding things to do. She didn't have any interesting. Is there a bakery in the town?
There is not an official bakery in the
Wow.
town.
Man,
The
that's rough.
meal hall does bake things, but it's not like a dedicated bakery. If that makes sense. So it's like they get fresh bread and stuff like that, but they don't have a place that just makes bread and cake and stuff.
Oh, interesting. You know what? Valkyrie might try to sell some like baked goods
Okay. Simple, mundane baked goods.
Yeah. She'd probably go simple and just see how it went, since she's never
Sure.
really done anything like this before.
Yeah.
And she'd probably, to try and get people inside the tower to like go to the tavern or whatever, she'd probably like talk to Jaynny about adding it to the sandwich board.
Okay. Yeah.
And then having the table like inside the tavern.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Janie's really excited about this idea.
Oh, good.
And really goes out of her way to help you execute it. In whatever way she can, which isn't in a baking way.
That
But
would be extra nice to the kobolds for some extra help.
there you go.
Spirit.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and make 2 different checks for me. One, a craft action, +1. And second, a charisma check. Straight.
All right. So how am I rolling with the d6s or for the craft, or is that
So you can just go
else?
to your actions and scroll down.
Actions. Right.
And then there's craft action +0, +1, +2. But you want to do the +1. You're welcome for making it easy.
Okay.
Yeah, just roll the damage.
Yep.
What's labeled as damage, yeah.
Yep. Click the magnifying glass. There you go. Hey! Yeah, you make some pretty awesome menagerie of baked goods. And you're doing like bake sale style table setup.
Yeah.
Like as people come into the tavern, they see your table and they have to walk right by you to get. Okay, yeah. Okay, and then make that charisma check.
Okay. Great. 11.
Okay. Yeah, by the end of the week, you've made 30 gold selling baked goods.
Oh. Wow. Valkyrie.
Like really high demand. People are especially into your cookies.
Valkyrie is super excited. Okay. All right. That would take up most of her week.
Okay.
Vaughan will try to replenish his salve
Ah, yes.
in his alchemy room.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same deal, +1 or +0 or.
Are you getting help from anyone?
That was yeah. I forgot to ask. As the people from the temple are moving in, any other alchemists, craftsmen
Sure.
in the so I'll have one of them give me a hand.
Great. Yeah, go ahead and roll +2.
+2. Interesting. Okay, here we go. Midland.
Indeed. It doesn't quite come together how you wanted it to. But that's just like one day's attempt. If you want to keep attempting for
Yeah, I'll make
5
one
more
more
days, you can.
Much
That
better.
is.
Oh,
Whoa! Okay. Yeah, way to go. Not only does this turn out perfectly the second time, you definitely feel kind of that fluctuation of domestic magic, like in a super positive way around what you're doing. And so it does everything it normally does for you. Let's see, which is target gains resistance to the type of damage caused by the wound for 1 minute, blah blah blah. So it does all of that exactly how you were trying to get it to go, but this batch also will give the person you slab it on 10 temporary hit points.
Just modify that one.
All right. And what are you doing with the rest of your week? Are you
I'll
helping
probably,
everyone just kind of all the priesty people
move in,
settle in?
get settled in. Yeah. I'll ask Duck if there's anything on the rock that he needs, minor things that can be handled in a day that, he needs done or something like that, or little mini quests.
Well, do you think your tower would be able to excavate a certain something?
How far away is it? Rather close.
Yes, actually, the cavern is right abouts under the fields just ahead.
Okay, I'll consult with Todd and the rest and see what we can do for you.
Of course, as much as you can keep it a secret. No,
Okay.
not the action itself, but the thing that is being relocated. It being,
Oh, okay.
a part of our initiatory order and whatnot.
Okay, I will communicate that with Valkyrie and Nathaniel and the rest. That can we go and ask Todd if he can do a small favor for Duck?
Commence conversation.
I guess we're in the control room. Todd.
Yes.
My high priest has wanted to know if there's a small little excavation that he is not very close by, that he's wondering if the tower could do that.
Okay. Where? What?
I'll give him the location that I'm sure Duck would have given me the location.
I'll have to move the physical tower a little bit in order to do that. Where would you like me to put it?
In a position where it's easiest for you to perform the excavation.
Not the tower, the excavated contents.
Oh,
No, the soil I can throw into the astral plane. That's not a problem.
the contents. The temple, I suppose. Is there room in the temple, or the arboretum? How about the arboretum? We'll store it temporarily in the arboretum and see what we find. Would that be okay?
Should I bar all from entering the arboretum while it is there?
Yes.
Okay. Expelling people from the arboretum.
No. Just can we give them a warning first? Just
Into the temple. I'm just expelling them into the temple.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Relax.
Okay.
Vaughn,
Just
relax.
toss them into a plane. Somewhere.
Astral Sea! Okay. Complete.
Thank you, Todd. And while Nathaniel and Valkyrie are with him, he's going to say, there was one other thing. Duck had expressed an interest in speaking with Todd. I just wanted to bring that to you as a question. Would that be all right?
Why?
He
Dominator
feels
Duck. Dominator Duck. Oh.
he has great interest, and he thinks this is it is a rather special place, and he just, I guess, has a few questions.
I mean, I guess I don't have a problem with it.
I mean, is he okay with us being there when he talks about it?
That was the thing. He sort of. It seems like he might have some. I don't know if it's religious or confidential questions he'd like to ask.
But aren't
If you
you
have
part of the same religion?
Let's say if it's religious, then you can just be there.
Yeah.
I can offer.
I'll take your word for it. I mean,
Okay, I'll bring
So
that.
charitable.
Yeah. Valkyrie pats Vaughn on the back. Yeah, I trust you.
Thank you for your trust, as I trust you. All right, and I will take that to Duck. That's the caveat, that I also be around when he talks to Todd.
Oh, excellent. You said no one's in the Arboretum now?
Well, he's clearing the Arboretum to put. He's agreed to do the excavation, and that's where he'll put whatever he finds in the excavation in the Arboretum.
Excavation complete.
Arboretum's back up. Well, I guess. What is the results? I mean, is it a lot of debris in there, or?
No. The
Okay.
object has been acquired.
Okay. I'll say to Duck, do you want to go check out the Arboretum, see what he's found?
Since you've put a ban on all entry into the Arboretum, would you like me to make an exception?
Yes, open the Arboretum to myself, the Dominators, and Duck. For now.
Oh, this is Duck. Do you really... Again, I don't really want the other Dominators to see... Are we going to relocate it? I suppose we can talk to Todd about that.
What? Okay, can we talk about what it is, Duck?
Yeah. You guys walk in, and you immediately recognize this fawn. It's the giant hand from under the shrine.
How big is the giant?
It is huge in size, and that is game mechanics speaking.
Oh boy, huge.
Huge.
Not quite monstrosity. Where are we gonna put this thing?
We could make another room for it, right?
That will take some doing. You see, every room requires some more essence, energy, magic.
Maybe we could make a request to the unknown god for assistance. In this barter?
Okay, we can see if the unknown god will lend us assistance in procuring what we need in order to make space for this hand. What is this hand?
You don't remember this?
I'm a little vague on the details.
This is the I'm trying not to ruin any of your backstory.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, if you want to just leave it?
Wow. Way to go, Frank.
Let me send you a message.
Yes, let's do that.
I already figured out what it was. I know it. I have no clue.
Hold
Good lord.
It's
Basic
complicated to try to
just
relive all of this. I'm sorry.
playing the intermission song during the
Yeah.
middle.
Mhm.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Okay.
Okay.
Phew.
Ah, okay.
You know, if it's going to be the main temple, you got to have the main object of the initiatory rites, yeah?
Got it. Got it. Understood. Okay. All right. So I'll try not to. All right. Let's meditate and see if the unknown god can help us out with this. Otherwise, we'll have to find some way to assist Todd in making room for this. And I meditate.
Make your wisdom saving throw.
Of course. Oh, save. Okay.
Nice. Smooth. Very smooth. Goes very smoothly. Yeah, and you feel the presence of the unknown god building up in your meditative space, and it speaks to you.
Hello.
Hello, my son. Hello. What is it? What is it that I can do for you today?
We would like to establish our main temple to you in this tower, and in order to do that, we would like to move a relic essential to that our worship to you
I
into
know
another
the
space.
artifact.
Into a space in the temple, into the tower. In order to do that, we need to present some magical power, an item with some magical power, in order for the tower to create the necessary demi-plane to house the relic. This tower does have some
You need to
limitations.
house the relic in the tower. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I will give you a gift that was presented to me for a marriage. Here.
Thank you. That is most appropriate.
I'm glad that you have brought us together today. Connection severed.
Appreciate it.
Yep, there you go. So you kind of come to for meditating, and there is make a perception check.
Certainly. Ah!
Almost an 18.
Almost. Then just ticked
But
over.
it wasn't.
But it isn't.
Yeah, so there's a
An item.
very, very strange, almost like gives you a headache, hard to perceive item in front of you that is seems almost like it just doesn't belong. It is an impossible shape. Duck can't even look at it. What? What is that?
I don't know. It's what the unknown god gave to me to present. To Todd, in an attempt to make the space happen for the relic.
Okay, take it. It's making me sick.
I will grab like a cloth or something and
Yep.
place it over the relic, over the item,
Mm-hmm.
and mentally quick call the others quick, into the control room to present this to Todd.
Okay.
And let them know also. I'll let Valkyrie and Nathaniel know that part of this excavation we found good news, an ancient relic for my religion that is very integral in our worship, and I agree with Duck that we would be essential for us to keep this item in the temple, but it's rather large. In fact, it's huge, which we require another space for Todd to create off the temple. But the good news is we've already prayed to our deity, and he has provided us with hopefully a satisfactory item to present to Todd for him to be able to make the room.
Oh, well, praise be the deity.
Thank you.
Ha, 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 ha.
All right, and I will sort of like turn and
Thank you, Todd.
and uncover the item and show it to Todd.
Nathaniel and Valkyrie, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, sorry about
Wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
Well,
At least I got a 2. Wait, what is that? Why did D4 get here?
Give it an effect.
it's a 14 for Valkyrie.
Nice.
Oh, is your bless still turned on? Oh, your bless is still turned on. That's why.
Is it?
I think that's what it added, right?
Yeah, I did.
We added a D4. That's why I
That's
was
funny.
confused.
Yeah, you rolled a 19.
Okay, I rolled a 19. I don't roll a 20.
Yep. Yeah. So you resist Nathaniel, and Valkyrie, you don't. You feel just a really, I mean, like you can't look at this thing. It hurts to look at it, and you literally
I'm
take
fine.
3 psychic damage.
I mean,
You could have warned us before we came in
I
here.
apologize. I
And
didn't.
you gotta fix something.
What is
God.
this?
I'm
is
sorry. I apologize. I didn't realize it would have that effect
I
on
will
you.
take this. Yes, this is very interesting
This
properties.
is what religion feels like.
Sometimes. It's not always roses and tulips.
Oh my God! Somebody clip that, please. Is this what religion feels like?
I mean, once they pound it into your
Oh,
brain over and over and over
man.
again,
That was
totally
magical.
get over it.
Okay. Well. Ugh, I can't even. Okay, so yeah.
Beautiful rooms. And I'll ask Todd to move the relic from the Arboretum into the newly created space and just make it available to myself and Duck.
It is done.
Thank you. And thank
I
you,
will not
Valkyrie.
even reveal where it is on the map.
That's fine, as long as I don't walk into a room and it's there and die.
Oh no, that item is mine now. I ate it.
Oh, good, good, and that's great.
The the huge artifact is safe.
in the right, another room
Okay.
off the temple. Yes.
Will that also kill me, Vaughn?
I don't know. I've experienced
Seeing
it.
it, will it kill us? Is it dangerous to us?
No,
No,
it is.
it is part of our religion.
I mean, it's the first. Oh, okay. All right. That's fine.
I thank you for patience in this and understanding.
Oh, just be good. Just be glad I like you, Vaughn.
Oh, and
Be glad
Just-
that we're friends.
I just wanted to mention, once a month we sacrifice goats, and once a year we sacrifice humans, and we burn incense constantly.
I'm not
Ha.
upset with those.
Ha.
Kidding!
Ha.
I'm kidding! I'm
Ha.
kidding!
Oh,
I'm kidding!
okay.
I'm lightening up the mood.
I mean, I like
And I
incense.
was okay with the human sacrifice.
I like
If you're gonna
incense.
burn incense, man, it's just
And
you and me. We're gonna have a problem.
the sacrificing was
Technically,
a
it's
little
the
weird,
kobolds
but
that are burning the incense.
Oh, okay, then I'll have a problem with them.
I think several of them have been made official initiate acolytes.
Already.
you know, maybe if you
been
do
most
end
of
up
the week.
sacrificing humans, we could take the body to a necromancer for use.
Mm,
I'm
A poor
sure.
attempt at a joke.
I'm sure Seth would enjoy that.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. File that away for later.
Okay.
what?
What?
All right, that's it for me before I get into any more trouble.
Okay. Nathaniel, what are you doing this week?
Well, besides that,
Well, yeah, I mean, you're just kind of roped
Yeah.
into that conversation, really. But what are you actually doing?
going over what I have material wise and everything. Stuff to make stuff with. How much would it take of the scales that I have to make armor out of?
You have 6?
10.
10. What kind of armor are you trying to make?
See, that's what I was looking at a while ago until the...
Because you could... I mean, functionally speaking, scale mail would be the most appropriate.
Yeah, that was gonna be the most appropriate out of all of it. I know I lose out on AC when it comes to that, but it's got its own uniqueness to it.
It's true.
So, how much would it take to make, like, how much of the pieces would it take to make the armor? Full set.
To make a full set of the scale mail, I'm gonna say it's gonna take like 7, like a good chunk, because these aren't like huge.
But they're decent size, so that's
They
what
are a decent size, yes.
Then I will take my time in doing that.
Okay. Very good.
If it goes well, then I'll probably add a room to it as well.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah. So this is going to be a very difficult roll. So I recommend taking time to explicitly prepare for this.
Okay.
Like, do a couple practice runs with some not very valuable things. And just to make sure you got your technique down, and because that'll get you a +1 is if you take time to explicitly
do that
study and prepare to do this.
Okay, I will do that then.
Great.
I will even sacrifice Because if I could sacrifice something and then use that as well, or is that part of the time?
So that's part of. I mean, it can be part of the time. It can also be a material thing that you sacrifice.
It's gonna be a material thing.
Okay, then
It
yes.
would be one. It'd be one piece of the scale. Just one scale piece.
Even though it's gonna take you 7.
Well, no. I'm still gonna do the 7, but the first one is the test one to figure out how to manipulate it better.
Oh, I
So
see.
it's-
I see.
it's
So
the
you
trial run to
sacrifice
work up.
one. Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
gotcha. All right. So you're up to a +2. Are you gonna get any help? Actually,
Yeah,
no,
I've
you're up
got-
to a +3. Are you
I've-
gonna get any help? Oh yeah, you have your little shit.
I've got my help, so
Yeah. Built-in help.
built-in help.
All right. So yeah, that's a +4 craft action because you've
Plus-
prepared explicitly. You have help. You're using a material that you cannot find anywhere else, and you have sacrificed something. Are you gonna give this away as a gift?
I mean, if it's a gift to me,
Yeah, no, it doesn't count.
damn.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead. That's a plus.
Valkyrie,
plus-
here's your gift. Now give it back.
+4. +4. Oh, you can't wear it. Darn! I didn't know you couldn't equip.
It's
heavy
not your type.
armor.
So it's the +4 then, crafting action.
Yes.
All right, here it
I'm
goes.
so excited. Oh,
Oh.
man. Yeah, okay,
Excellent.
so 1, you succeeded and you created a full set of dragon scale mail, which is a very rare magic item. Silver, of course.
Silver.
And you have 2 6s. Oh my gosh. Goodness. I need to consult the table. The table.
I mean,
Exactly. You're catching on. Seriously. Don't do this to me. Not in the mood. Folder. Ha! There we go. Okay. I guess put it somewhere I didn't remember. Down to the appendices. Boons and flaws. This is metal. Bum 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 bum. Here we go. Can you roll me a D10?
D10.
Yeah.
Ah,
And tell me what the number is, because I don't want to...
7.
7. Oh, interesting. This is also... Oh, what's that stupid thing called? Excuse me. Armor. It's the armor that's really easy to doff. You know what I'm talking about? It's a common magic item. It's also that.
The one that's easy to put on and take off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I know
don't
what
know
I'm talking
it's
about.
called. I know.
Chat,
what you're
help.
talking about. I don't remember what that's called though.
Yeah, I totally am blanking on that. So let's.
So I could cheat and look it up, but it probably take me a minute to find it.
I know that's what. Huh. Anyway, it has a property where you can you can get out of it rather easily, quickly, in half the time it would normally take you.
Okay. That's an interesting one, but okay.
It is. Oh, I just realized I read off the minor. Okay, it also weighs half as much as you expected it to.
So it's a lot lighter than I thought.
Yep.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm. I would say that that's very beneficial. And if, at your leisure, you want to look up your dragon scale and just kind of... It does require attunement, by the way.
Yeah, I figured it did.
Yeah.
Dragon scales, I don't remember
Plus
what
1 to
it's-
AC. Advantage on saving throws against the frightful presence and breath weapon of dragons.
Ooh.
And you have resistance to 1 damage, which is cold. And you can focus your senses as an action to magically discern the distance and direction to the closest dragon of the type of armor that you have within 30 miles of you. Once a day.
Yep.
Woohoo! Look at you go. Magical. So magical.
I gave up some boots for some armor.
Rough. Super rough.
Super rough.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. So you guys kind of spend the rest of your week doing your various things. And you all, towards the end of the week, get a notification that there is someone waiting for you in the audience chamber. We have a guest.
Go.
All right, let's go greet our unique visitor in the audience chamber.
I would have attuned to this armor and have it on now.
Of course.
And go and greet.
Nathaniel looks sharp.
Oh wow! New armor, Nathaniel.
Wow, you've been hard at work.
Sharp
Yeah.
as hell.
Guys, I sold some bakery stuff. I don't know if you saw in the tavern.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
I was up to some stuff too.
Good.
I spent my time well. Don't judge me.
I did stuff.
That time good work got recognition.
I love it.
Thank you, Vaughan. All right, let's greet this person.
It is someone who's very clearly dressed as a postman.
Does he ring twice?
Are they singing Telegram?
Hey. Hi there.
Heidi ho, neighbor.
How can we help you?
Oh, well, I don't think there's much to say about how much you can help me. I heard there's a new post office in town, and I came down here to get new postman. Okay, this way. Okay, thanks. And he'll walk into the little room that's the post office.
Todd. Oh, Todd.
Yes.
So, question. How these people kind of keep finding us. And well, we're grateful that we now have a postman.
Technically.
Are you advertising? Is someone...
Well, in terms of the post office, obviously all post offices are automatically owned by the post. So they supplied an employee for your post office.
So they just knew that we had one appear here in the tower.
I may have sent a message, yes.
Okay. That's all I'm wondering. That's all I was... Thank you, Todd. You're very
Thanks, Todd.
insightful.
Okay.
All right. Have fun doing whatever you're doing.
Thanks.
Hey, we have a postman.
Oh, right, the translation.
Yeah, Todd,
Right, that thing.
you might want to get back on that, Todd.
Todd's the worst procrastinator. Keeps
Va-
pushing away the.
Valkyrie told me I didn't have to do it.
But no.
What?
You should look at the guys. No. I told you, Todd, that we needed to make getting more rooms a priority, but now we have more rooms, so we need to make... It's probably best to put the book up on the priority list again.
Okay, I'll stop playing Sudoku. Nothing you've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Must be some weird
Interesting.
construct game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Binary
Anyway, sweeter.
Sudoku. No. Okay. Yeah. God, I'm
Okay.
so disappointed that didn't land. It's okay.
Yeah, and sorry.
I'll move on. I just have to recover because. Okay. Yeah. And the postman pokes. He also has this really long beard. Pokes his head out of the post office. I'm just setting up shopping here, okay? I'm all ready for sending the letters and receiving.
Okay.
The next
All
time I
right.
see you, I'll probably have some letters for you. All right, we'll see you later. Bye.
Okay. Thank
All right,
Thank
there's-
you.
Thanks.
Living quarters off the temple.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
thank you very
thanks
much.
for
I'll take
staying.
my rucksack over there in just a minute.
Rucksack.
By the way, my name's Lenny. Okay, bye.
All right, Lenny.
Nice to meet you, Lenny.
Why are we shouting?
Aw.
Don't know.
It's a condition. Yeah. As soon as you guys finish having that fun conversation, a small boy that you recognize from when you first arrived on Vicar's Rock, Mikkel, runs into the room and goes, "It's here! It's here!"
What's here,
What's
Michelle?
here?
What's here?
And that's where we'll end our session for today.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you one and all. We had a smaller group today, which
We did.
actually made it a lot harder because I think I had planned material for a 4-person group,
Yeah.
and so there's some stretching that happened.
Mhm.
But that's just how it works sometimes. Yeah. So, who you play, and what's a highlight for you?
I'm Steph. I play Valkyrie. Yeah, I would say a highlight for me was probably the conversation with Todd about the room situation and everything that happened there. And then also Valkyrie's conversation with Vash to herself in the middle of the bar.
That was
About what's wrong with her.
I think there's a part of that conversation you might have missed. Maybe. I'll consult you later.
Oh, okay.
Girling up now.
Yeah.
I'm Richard. I play Nathaniel. My favorite part would be pretty much the same thing. The talk with Todd was just wonderful. Beyond. Oh, it was so good. Nathaniel's favorite part would be talking with Todd.
Not making your sick new magic armor.
The sick new magic armor, way up there. But just listening to Todd cheers him up, especially when it's the ha-ha moments, it just pretty much, because it's just like, I love this. I like this joking. I love this. But the sick magic armor is a way big plus. And I didn't tell you guys about it, because that was something that I hit off on the side during the package that Kincaid gave us.
Oh.
10 pristine scales
Silver dragon
Oh.
scale.
of silver dragon.
Her own.
Oh.
Have you told anyone else that she's a dragon?
Nope. I kept my
Okay,
word.
cool. So no one knows where Nathaniel got these
Right.
amazingly dope silver dragon scales.
Found them on the beach. Those waves.
Those waves, man, they bring all kinds of cool things.
You
That's
never
why
know
I
what the
go-
Fingers-
tide will bring
That's
in.
why I go
Fingers-
shell hunting every day.
That's where I go scale hunting. The sea. For dragons.
All
Yeah.
right.
Valkyrie's not going to question it. Absolutely not.
I'm Franco. I play Vaughan. For Vaughan, I'm guessing the whole conversation about, how stick in the mud, how dull his face.
Oh, man.
I'm
Being
secretly going
slightly
like, what are you doing, Valkyrie?
That's- I mean,
What are you doing? Digging the hole 6 feet under.
Yonder.
Poor Valkyrie does bad.
like all the boring monks, like we all.
It was great. So great.
I just want in the future, like we're gonna come back to the tower one night and like the monks are like throwing a huge like bash in the tavern, like tearing the place apart.
That's right, a drunken revel. Mhm, yeah. It's a
Yep.
masquerade. Ritz is totally in on that. So, yeah, hi, I'm Andrew. I'm the DM, and I liked that now we have another character with multiple paramours. Woo-hoo-hoo. And I still got to get some going for Vaughan. Maybe that'll happen.
Yeah,
up
Nathaniel
on-
was on fire. He was on every woman he walked into.
I don't know. I don't know how if Fen was legitimately interested or not. Wait. All right, I'll keep that secret, and we'll we'll find that out later next time on Tower of Dreams. Probably not next time, actually. So, let me. Wow, where the heck is the schedule? There it is. Yeah, so there's a lot of D&D stuff. This is one of many D&D things here on Madbird Streams. So this is a stream schedule. 10 o'clock tonight and 10 o'clock on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. There is more D&D. So much D&D. Tune in to all of these really awesome, incredible, amazing campaigns and see some really great characters that are RP'd the hell out of. And then Fridays at noon we have Mad Art with Steph, and they still can't see you, Steph.
I know. I always forget, but it's fine. Just let me wave, okay? I just want to wave.
I just want to be there.
Let me
No, I
have my
to call
moment.
You out. It's the best. Yeah, where she does fan art, which is amazing. And it's from these very same D&D campaigns at your recommendation through and vote through the Discord channel. So hit that up if you aren't a part of it. Although I think most of you are a part of it. And then tomorrow 2 p.m. Sundays almost every Sunday 2 p.m. Either there's Madbird Plays, which is board games on virtual tabletop, or Jackbox games. So tune in.
Also,
for
tomorrow's the year anniversary for Obsidian Scar.
Oh,
Really?
so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's already been a year, guys.
it's already been a
Has
year.
it been?
Yes, yep.
So
Amazing.
tune in for the Proper Nani shenanigans at 10 p.m. tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be a hoot. And until we see you all later, goodbye.
Okay.
Take care. So long. Farewell.
Farewell.
Well.
Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.